come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one in the NFC, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
His second year in the league certainly didn't go the way that he thought it would. In fact, a lot of whispers around the team and around the league that maybe he was not going to be the guy. Ended up getting benched, took his time, watched the game, and then came back better than ever. Second year in the same offense with the same head coach should lead to an even bigger jump in year 3.
On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There is, and for guys on defense, they've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Young. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Well, you did. That line's not even tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't believe that that was called right here in the moment. I believe this was called during practice this week, that he was going to decide to be aggressive even on his own side of the field.
Just you mean because it's the opening drive? Maybe they had this scripted?
I think that he just talked about it with his team and said, listen, I'm confident in you. If we end up in this situation, we'll go for it early just to set a tone in this game.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They run here with Rico Dowdle. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now Young. He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 11 more on that one and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Ryan Fitzgerald now to add the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Now in his 3rd season as the guy in Green Bay, and he's thrown for at least 25 touchdowns in each of the last 2 years. He and his team believe they are due for a deep playoff run as long as he stays healthy and is piloting the offense.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. J.C. Horn up to make the tackle. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
2nd and 10. Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Love will sneak it. And he's going to have the Packers first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. They'll get this complete to Matthew Golden. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They go bootleg. Love. That's taken in by Golden. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw now. Here's Love. Got Doubs over the middle. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Looking to throw, Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble.
The coach is always hard on the quarterback, reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, get your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Young will set to throw. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Young now from the 50. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Young. That's complete to Chuba Hubbard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Chuba Hubbard. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers are able to widen their advantage. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. 5 plays there on that drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Working out of the gun. Love. Pass caught. That's golden. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Love looking to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Jacobs is in. Touchdown, Packers.
What a luxury it is to be able to call a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Panthers offense and Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Out of the gun, it's Young. That's taken in. It's Xavier again. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Gain of 22 yards. And a Panther 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
A give up the middle, Hubbard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. It's a little bit over. Young into the slide, and he's got a 1st down. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
Straight ahead with Hubbard. Oh, a nifty juke there. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Chuba Hubbard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
Fitzgerald now for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. looking to put a drive together. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Love. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Derek Brown busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's to Golden. He's got it right side. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Love now. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll play fake. Now Young. And that went off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. Continue to throw the ball.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
On the give, this is Hubbard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Young to throw it. Looking middle, and he finds McMillan. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw, Young. Will try and do this himself. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle it.
On fourth down, Carolina going to send out Sam Martin to punt. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Now it's going to step up and run. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
In motion goes the tight end. Love from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Throwing. Love. That's complete to Wicks. And out of bounds right around the 20. That'll give him 8 that time. And it'll be 2nd and a couple. They go bootleg. Love. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a first and goal.
Going back to Love. Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Doubs from 8 yards out. And the Packers are back within a score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now McManus for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Looking to put a drive together. They'll begin this series with a give to Hubbard. And it pushes way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here's 3rd and 7. Young. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Young. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Throwing, Young. Got a man, that's Leggett. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. fourth down. Here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Green Bay about set for another series. Here comes Romeo Doubs. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Over the middle, he's got Golden. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Matthew Golden, 96 yards. And the Packers have taken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. McManus now for the extra point. And that one gives him a 3-point lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Carolina getting set to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Young now. That one complete to Legal. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Young. Pressure, and down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and 19. Here's Young. He'll find McMillan here. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Love. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. There's that man again. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. It's been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up, put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the third quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down. Working out of the gun. Love. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Romeo Dobbs, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Looking to throw, Young. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 29, here's second and 5. On the counter, this is Hubbard. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Green Bay about set for another series. Here comes Romeo Doubs.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Panthers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2nd and 9. Young to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
3rd down, Young from the gun. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Packers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Now he's loose at the 40. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 28. 91 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Off the play fake, Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Jacobs. Able to fight through one tackle. And he's able to get it down at the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. That's caught at the 3. Touchdown! Romeo Doubs, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now McManus for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Second down, another chance for Hubbard. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just have a break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Young to throw it. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Second and 5. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now here's Young. And this is going to be incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense and Romeo Doubs getting ready to go back to work. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
that would be the number one thing you would think of. But so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Young will set to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Young scrambling and able to pick up the first with his legs.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Panthers.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Young off the play fake. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. More after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Young takes it on the sneak, and he is going to have a Panthers first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for fourth down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
First down. First and goal, Carolina.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
On is Fitzgerald now for the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Green Bay about set for another series. Here comes Romeo Doubs. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Love. Got Doubs over the middle. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll send the tight end in motion. Love from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Love, they go play action now. He gets that one complete to Wicks. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. A tight formation here. It's 3rd and a yard. Love will sneak it. And he's going to have the Packers Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Love will sneak it. And he's going to have the Packers first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
Able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 118 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
McManus now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing, Young. That caught by Trimble. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 3rd and 3. To throw, Young. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. It's Hubbard. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second down and 6 now. Love now. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw now. Here's Love. That's to Golden. He's got it right side. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Here comes Chuba Hubbard. Let's take a closer look at him. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Now Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. So nothing doing there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Young now. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Throwing, Love. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hubbard. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here is Young. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Young. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Bryce Young taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Panthers are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Fitzgerald now for the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 13. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Bryce Young who finished things off with a touchdown run. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And they got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.